Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're looking at some new cards coming out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duels. This is supporting Battle Pack Volume 2. Dian Keto the Cure Master is a normal spell card with no requirements, and the effect is you gain 1000 life points. This is just a transition card which came from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! It has the exact same effect, the only difference being that the card artwork is a lot bigger and that it's more aesthetically pleasing, as opposed to the smaller short form print of the original standard cards. Flower Fang Oni Yuri is a level 2 Earth Attribute Plant type effect monster with 500 attack and defense. The requirement: you can activate if you control a face-up normal monster, must be a plant type. The effect is to send the top card of each player's deck to the graveyard. I don't actually understand what the purpose of doing this is. If you're trying to revive something from the graveyard, I'm sure there are better ways of doing it. And even what you send to your opponent's graveyard, you might actually end up benefiting them if they've got an effect of any of their cards which activates from the graveyard. Even so, whatever they discard from the top of their deck might not make a difference to them. Stardom Light is a normal spell card with a requirement: you can activate by sending a face-up normal monster you control to the graveyard. The effect is to special summon one monster and must be a psychic type from your hand to your side of the field face up. If you sent a monster level 2 or lower for this effect's requirements, then gain 1000 life points. I think this is meant to support Mimi's deck, which is to do with the psychic type. That is her boss monster, which is a level 7, so that's the idea behind it. And I think also her Candy is a normal type monster, and I think it's also a level 2, so it actually meet this requirement. It's okay as an effect, but you're gaining 1000 life points. It requires you to have certain conditions, and it's just not viable as strategy. Mythic Swordsmith is a normal spell card with the requirement: you can activate if either player controls a face-up field spell card. The effect: change a defense position monster your opponent controls to face-up attack position. If the monster changed to face-up attack position is a normal monster, you can also draw one card. This is the equivalent of something like Stop Defense, but it has the added incentive if your opponent has a normal monster to be able to add and draw a card. The problem is you do need to require a field spell already on your field or in either player's field, so it's not too bad of an effect, and it's just another version of Stop Defense. I think it might actually be a legend card for Stop Defense, so this is a variation of it with bonus effects, which isn't limited to using only one of. Trumpet to March is a normal trap card with the requirement: you can activate when your monster warrior type is destroyed by an attack of a monster your opponent controls. The effect is to special summon one monster from your hand. You must be a warrior type face up to your side of the field. This is fine as an effect, you're just replacing one monster you've got for another one. It has to be specifically a warrior type, but I'm sure there's quite a few monsters out there, so it does at least give you some field presence. Volcanic Rat is a level 1 fire attribute pyro type normal monster with 500 attack and 500 defense. This mutated mouse dwells in the core of active volcanoes. No amount of heat is too much for it to bear. This is one of those examples of cards that's been shifted over from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! This was used by Axel Brody within his Volcanic deck, and he was the character introduced in Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Stegoceratops is a level 2 Earth Attribute Dinosaur type normal monster with 700 attack and 1100 defense. A dinosaur that lives in a herd. It looks tough, but it's not really that strong. It's another one of these feeble normal monsters that Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s likes to push, and it's just not viable as strategy. It just happens to be a dinosaur type. Tyhone is a level 4 wind attribute winged beast type normal monster with 1200 attack and 1400 defense. Capable of firing cannonballs from its mouth for long range attacks, this creature is particularly effective in mountain battles. Again, this is an example that was introduced from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! And has found its way within the Rush Duels series. Bean Soldier is a level 4 Earth Attribute plant type normal monster with 1400 attack and 1300 defense. A plant warrior that attacks with seeds and sword. This is another example of a card which has been sent from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Into Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duels. I would argue that it's quite decent at the moment because the base stat line of the highest level 4 monsters, if I can remember, is about 1500, 1600, making this an okay card. And the final card is Tyhone 2. This is a level 6 fire attribute dragon type normal monster with 1700 attack and 1900 defense. A crimson dragon that spits fireballs to create a blazing sea of fire. This, like the original Tyhone, came out of Yu-Gi-Oh! The original series. It being a level 6 monster for the time being is okay, but with no attack points really to its name, and not really well in its defense either, it's just not a viable strategy, especially since you have to tribute a monster just to get a normal monster out. What do you guys think of these new cards? Is there anything you like in here, and is there anything you don't like? Whatever you think, leave those comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Yu-Gi-Oh! Content.